And thanks for joining us here at Weather Nation. We're taking you out to some of the sights from NORAD because it is one of the most exciting times of the year. Weather Nation teams up with NORAD, and what we're doing here is we're tracking Santa. It's that time of year where we get really excited to track Santa. Christmas Eve, a very busy day as we continue to head closer and closer to more on this holiday season. Thanks for joining us. I'm a meteorologist, Alana Cameron, joined alongside with First Lieutenant Sable Brown. She joins us today from NORAD and going to give us a little bit of information on how we are going to track Santa. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Thank you for having me, Alana.
Perfect. So we wanted to dive right into it. Everyone is super excited this year. I know that in the past we have tracked Santa. We wanted to get a little bit of information on what kind of technology we use and all the information on how exactly we track Santa.
Well, NORAD is North American Aerospace Defense Command, and we use our aerospace defense capabilities, such as the early warning system of radar along the Alaskan and Canadian reaches of the North Pole to pick up when Santa takes off. And from there, it's on the satellites that check out that infrared heat signature from Rudolph's nose as they track him around the world. They follow that heat signature on the satellites.
Yeah, very cool. So as meteorologists too, we use the same technology. We use satellites, we use radars. Those are two of the things that we use to forecast the weather. And you're saying that it's something that we also use to track Santa. You mentioned one thing, one word that I was very interested in, that infrared heat to track Rudolph's nose. Can you explain how they use that to find out exactly where Santa is?
Yeah, infrared is a type of wavelength that our satellites, our satellite network picks up and keeps track. It's also the way that we track missile launches or rocket launches around the world. So these systems that we use to keep North America safe is a part of the network that we use to follow Santa around the world.
Yeah, definitely. And so we got over what we're dealing with when we're looking at satellite. We're also looking at radar. When do you switch? When do you start using radar? When do you start using satellite when you're tracking?
The radar systems, as I said, were along Alaska and Canada. So once he's out of the North American region, then it's up to those satellites around the world as he goes through each time zone.
Yeah, definitely. And then on Christmas Eve, I'm sure it's a very busy day for you tracking that. How long does it take? Are you up for 24 hours tracking Santa around the world?
Yeah, the trip does take 24 hours because that's how time works, right? Like Santa departs and he takes off to the international date line. He'll go up and down those time zones. We don't know his exact path, and he flies faster than starlight. So that's why we try to keep track of Santa as best as we can to tell you where he is. He'll go through those time zones as it turns about 9 p.m. in the evening. It's about 9 p.m. to midnight when he's trying to get into the houses to give the presents.
Yeah, definitely. And then another cool thing that you use that we don't use as meteorologists is some of the fighter jets. How does that work when you're tracking Santa?
When he's in North American airspace and we know where Santa is, the Canadian CF-18s fly to meet him and escort him through the airspace. And for America, it's the F-15s, F-16s, and F-22s. And again, Santa flies really quickly, but he does slow down to wave hi to our escort pilots, and they keep him safe in our airspace.
Yeah, definitely. And have you known any pilots that have been able to see Santa in the air on any of those fighter jets out there?
Some of them do, and that's part of where we get our Santa cam footage from. If you check out our website on December 24th as we track Santa, you'll see some of that footage from when our fighter pilots managed to get a glimpse of what Santa and the reindeer are doing there.
Yeah, definitely. And then on Christmas Eve, is there any way that kids can follow along? How can they see and how can they track Santa themselves?
The traditional phone call option is still available at 1-877-HI-NORAD, but we also have our website, noradsanta.org, that'll give them the live updates up to the minute. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you can ask OnStar or Amazon Alexa, where is Santa?
That's awesome. And so are there any changes this year? Is Santa still going to be okay to head out there even during everything that's happening right now?
Santa has always been able to deliver his presents safely throughout the world, and he's still going to continue that practice today of being safe since he's interacting with, millions of households and going around the world.
Well, thank you so much for joining us from NORAD. That's First Lieutenant Sable Brown, again, joining us as we continue that track where Santa with our satellites and our radars, and we'll keep up to date with NORAD.org. And the latest information you can also find on our website, weathernationtv.com.